Hey up, Titus Pétange fans. We've done a little bit of tweaking to the PC settings actually to try and optimize it more for Windows, and I've actually improved the color range on my PC. So if you see any difference on the skin, then I think that's to do with the enhanced color range. It looks great on my screen, to be fair. Right, so we're in the new season. I don't actually know which season this is. Come on, Curtis, refresh. Season 37. Season 37, 2057, 2058. Goodness, mate. We're actually looking at our development centre and just organising the Luxembourg sidebar a little bit better. This is currently how Luxembourg are looking. Obviously, the two 5-star players in Sabatic and Leo Grande. Schedule-wise, we've actually not done great over the last two games. We're against Czech Republic. I kind of seen coming, but the 3-1 loss against Bulgaria is quite shocking, to be honest. And we've dropped to 71st in the world rankings. Liechtenstein to come at home. Belgium then at home in the World Cup qualifiers, and by then we might actually drop into third, which would be heartbreaking indeed. I mean, what a Czech Republic got Belgium to come? No. I think that's the end of the road for us in terms of World Cup qualification, but we'll have to see. This is Champions League game. We're away against City, and we're actually going to take in this game because we've had so many changes, chops and changes to the squad. Some really significant players that have been part of Champions League win after Champions League win have finally gone and left Titus Pétange, and Savo Saran really has picked up everything. If he needed to step up even more than what he was, because at 24, 25, 24 at the moment, he was already like one of the most significant players to ever play for Titus Pétange. But now you're looking at like peak Savo Saran, top goal scorer, highest average rating, most assists, most player in the match awards. He's doing it all, and he's charging towards another Ballon d'Or. Only his strikers really can get in his way. So let's talk about people that have left the club. From the schedule, we were here on the 8th of July to win the Club World Cup for the first time, which really did please me. So from the 8th of July, we must have just brought in Branislav Marinkovic. That should have been something that we talked about. St. Gallen, 11.5 million. And we move on to Florian Arbelet. He is a striker. Slightly injury prone, but looking very good and got 5 stars. Excellent stuff. That's a good little signing, especially for £875,000. Borussia Mönchengladbach. We have brought in a secondary goalkeeper called Oleg Bezrond. And you might be thinking, why have you done this? He's only 3.5 stars. It'll come as no surprise. Our big goalkeeper, Zelko Ivandic, has made a big money move to Manchester United. And it was money for, especially for a goalkeeper, 105 million, that you can't really refuse. Especially when you've got someone as good as Rubio backing him up. He can easily slot in as the first team goalkeeper. We'll talk about that in a second. But yeah, there you go. Man United are really spending high. We'll talk about the outs after we talk about the ins. Leandro Vassalo, a 4.5-star Portuguese midfielder, defensive midfielder coming in, but I think like well-rounded enough to go into this position. That was 15 million from Sporting Lisbon. Andreas, right-hand side of player, 6'1", could easily move to the centre-back spot, especially because he doesn't have much speed. 4.5-star potential there. That is from Villarreal at £11 million. Barcelona, 3.9 million for Saliu Ng. And this is a 4-star player. I don't think he'll break into the first team anytime soon. He's got a weird wheel as well, which obviously is something against him. Turkish Serdar Ozturk is a 3.5-star player. Don't expect him to make the first team, but you know what? When the scout report's saying that this guy could be 5 stars, you've got to give it a shot. We'll just miss out Neto for a second. Leonardo Godoy, 5-star midfielder, could be an absolute beaut, but he is fickle, so needs to sort it out, to be honest. Right, so you'll have seen it, £130 million for Elba Ferreira Neto, a player that we sold for £40 million a few years back. So Manchester, I sold him to Salzburg, and Salzburg then sold him to Man City. So it's not actually me who's the big idiots in this one. Salzburg only made a profit of 1.5 million on him. Obviously, he's kicked on significantly. We thought he was going to be like a world-class player. Dogs are barking outside, apologies. But what I'm thinking is that I kind of essentially looked at all our positions after the, a little bit embarrassing going out in the Champions League semi-final. So I looked at all our positions. I was like, right, okay, which one is the weakest one? And even though we got Ugarelli leaving and the goalkeeper leaving, goalkeeper's probably the weakest right now, but the goalkeeper was leaving, I still thought Sabotic, Luxembourg right back, yeah, okay, great to have that homegrown player, but he's probably the weakest of the outfield players. So we brought in Elba Ferreira Neto as the right back, even though he doesn't say it on his cons right now, but we believe him to not like the big matches. I feel like we can carry one, especially with the qualities that this guy's got. This guy is one of the greatest midfielders of his generation. What we're expecting from him is just to apply that to right back. He's got all right crossing. It's full-back support, so it's more what are your defensive qualities, and this guy's defensive qualities are absolutely outstanding. He's a little bit injured at the moment, so he won't be playing in the next match, but he's fitting like a glove. Obviously, he knows the club well. So that is Elba Ferreira Neto coming back in, and I wonder, since that last report, that doesn't enjoy big matches thing disappeared, because we saw it on Modesto all those years back. Was it Modesto who disappeared? Someone's doesn't like big matches disappeared, didn't it? Leo Grande then outbound the Luxembourg winger, right hand side. I mean, we got Fingerland coming in. Fingerland, and Axel Claude, and I feel like both of them offer firstly, Axel Claude offers more, and Fingerland will offer more. Fingerland's actually gone out on loan, so there could have been a chance for Leo Grande to slip in there, but it was a lot of money coming in from Manchester United at 108 million. It's just a lot of money, 200 plus million from Manchester United through this summer. I can't believe Romelu only went for 90 million pounds. He's gone to Liverpool, strengthening them, but I think they had Tony up front anyway. They might play him in midfield, but I always believe Romelu's better position is up front, whatever. So that's Romelu going for 90 million. 90 million also for Ugarelli. Don't know how it's only 90 million. Should have been in the 100, but there it is. You can't really say much more. He's 30 years old now, and we have to move on. We have to keep on moving. That was the guy that we were bringing in. This is mad. The guy that we brought in when Paradiso was 30 and we were selling Paradiso is now 30 himself and has gone. Absolutely bonkers. Chris Boa. Respect Chris Boa. That was a £90 million move to Barcelona. So just a lot of money coming in. Jacopo Agresta was sold to Barcelona as well. So Barcelona really flooding us with money, and I feel like I was more happy for that to happen because of the development of Samuel Zaza at the football club. So I was like, okay, well, we can finally say goodbye to Agresta, because I didn't really want to do it. He's been probably the best centre-back that we've had. Harold Urania, who was Costa Rican goalkeeper, dropped that potential. Just basically reworking the goalkeeping position. Actually left myself a little bit wanting of a better goalkeeper, to be honest. I was going to say Uche Rubio. That's the old Youth Squad Legends player. But Rubio that we've got as our main goalkeeper right now, Edu Rubio, he's not bad, but he's lacking the speed, and that's kind of necessary for an attacking sweeper keeper. But you know what? He's a solid enough keeper. He is a solid enough keeper at the moment. Yeah, Harold Urenia wasn't going to make it. We got rid of him for actually a healthy amount of money as well, 38.5 million. That is not bad. Piotr Zawada, the Polish winger, he's gone to Real Madrid. Very much found his ceiling, his limit there. 27 million is a bargain though. Real Madrid have got a really nice player for 27 million. Samuel Diaz probably goes at around the right price here to Arsenal. The 24-year-old just really didn't kick on at 24 million pounds. Naldo, he's got 3.5 stars left back. He's gone to Manchester City. He might have a decent career. 16.5 million. Now we get into the smaller numbers. Josep Rita, 9.5 million to Dynamo Zagreb. Callum Pearce to Liverpool, 8.5 million. Potential dropped. Wasn't making much improvements. Shame, because he is a model citizen after all. Well, now we got drilling outside. Nathan Donald, who was guaranteed 4.5-star potential. This is a really, really big kick in the teeth. He was guaranteed 4.5-star potential, so the lad's got a significantly high potential ability. He just didn't... He might not have had the right loan moves. We definitely gave him loans. Is that correct? Yeah, man. Loaned him out every single season. He just didn't really improve, that's just sad. 24 years old, and if he makes it, he makes it for a couple of seasons, and for me, it's no point. Could we have maybe transferred him to a right back? Yeah, definitely. If we knew that would be the position this season that we were really focusing on, outfield. Like we could have incorporated Nathan Donald 2 years ago, and maybe we would have had a chance at a club that would have tried to nurture that talent. Thomas Vitek going to Young Boys for 7.75 million. The Czech Republic attacking midfielder is already, probably struggling anyway, with the wheel and that. Needed some pace to be a winger, needed some crossing to be a winger, and he couldn't really finish. So we couldn't train him to be a striker, couldn't move him to centre mid because he can't defend. So we moved him on to Young Boys eventually. Franz Dickman is another one where the potential is like really, really high, but it's just not really come through. 23 years old, he would have not even been able to become like a right back because his crossing ain't that. So there it is. I mean, if he can kick on, Zenit might have a really sick player there. 7.5 million pounds. Uriel Vela at 3.5 star potential goes to Cruz Azul. Moved him on quite quickly. Carlos Nava. There are some that we've moved on quite quickly, I think. Yeah, you see that there. There is a significant loss on these players, but they're not going to make it. So why keep them at the club? Carlos Nava's gone to Tigres. 2.5 million pounds. Ivan Ross, £2 million, more of an attacking midfielder, really. Slightly injury prone as well. It just weird wheel. Would have had to have significant development to make him striker, winger material. And Ian Cowlin, who I just don't think was good enough there at 4 stars, going to Manchester United for an absolute bargain price of 1.9 million. There is a significant amount of loans. Sorry, my keyboard is like sideways on the table. But there's the significant amount of loans that are paying us back. Loads of loan fees. Obviously, Fingerland's playing for Real Madrid, and we've seen some proper increases to his talents already, which is great. He's almost there in terms of right-hand side. That's what we really want him to become, right-hand sided winger. But yeah, this guy looks like the real deal, Fingerland at 22. And then the other loans, free loans, I mean, it's just tons of them. We won't go through them all. You know exactly why they're going out on loan. 23 people. It's nice to see more Luxembourg clubs getting loans for some of our players. So Racing FC have got 2 of our players, which means that they will be way better. Juric might have stayed in our first team. Obviously, this lad came from our youth academy, but we got a nice little loan out to Racing FC, and they are increasing his talents, which is great to see. He actually scored 1 or 2 times on his debut for Titus Pétange, so it's a big thumbs up. He's really, really quick. Yeah, 1 appearance, 2 goals. He's quality player, and he hit the ground running there. Squad-wise, let's give it a little flick through. So Rubio is our first team goalkeeper now. Then we've got Sabatic on right back, and you probably can see with that wheel why I thought, yeah, probably our weakest position out the lot. And it's difficult. You're kind of picking out 1 or 2 things about a person that you don't like instead of like a whole bunch, a whole list. It's Sabatic is the worst of the greatest team ever. So that's where you have to go. Saeed is not actually that young anymore. So, yeah, he's got great vision, but we've got better overall, all-rounded midfielders. Torre, 24 years old, monster, could be the next aggressor. Samuel Zaza there. Actually, the natural at right back, which surprised me, but he is going to train as a centre back. And then we got a blanked out player for some reason. Might have had a cup game recently. Aronica, I don't really know what to do with this kid because we got better. We got more talented midfielders. We're trying to make him a backup right winger for now, for just this season. And then we probably sell him. There's the new backup goalkeeper, Oleg. And we've got Pablo Blasco, who really needs to kick on this year. I mean, he will get way more game time. Says that he's 4.5-star potential, so let's see it. Calabrese, finally, really just getting into first team action game after game after game instead of being behind Ugarelli. Absolutely deserves it. He's an absolute joke of a midfielder. Savo Saran, I said, picked up everything, all the stresses. He's turned from a kid to a man this season, essentially. Axel Claude, he is. Espindola, it's what you call it? It's an important season for him with less midfield talents in front of him. He's going to get game time. He needs to grow. He needs to become natural at central midfield, definitely. Neto, try and make him natural at right back. Faisal, doing great. Wish he was a little bit better at defending, but everything else is solid. Oscar Gonzalez really surprised me how much he'd improved. Was he on loan last season? He was on loan the season beforehand, but I hadn't taken note of how good he has become as a wing back. This is quality stuff here by Gonzalez. Juric doing great out on loan. Gadiel Kim is a joke. Look how good Gadiel Kim is. Gadiel Kim must have took up that mantle as well of being like the important midfielder. Not bad for someone that we were just buying for profit. Not bad. One of the most important players that we've had in the middle of the park. Leonardo Bruno, left back, still going well. He's 24 though. I thought he was a bit younger than that, which is a shame. I don't think he's gonna blossom to much more. Pedro May is doing great out at Hertha Berlin. That's good to see. Developing nicely as a centre back. Sorry, my voice is going. And then we got Stanislas Mayulu. I don't think we're going to squeeze much more out of. We did transfer list him. Boris Mitev comes into the first team alongside Juric. Both of them came out the same youth intake, and both of them still hold 5-star potentials, I think. Mitev has played a couple of times for us, and he's done all right. 7.25 average rating. Leandro Moreira, one of the best penalty takers that I've ever seen. 17 penalty taking, just rifles them to the roof of the nets. 10 goals from 10 games this season in the league, I think. Onganiot, he's marvellous, isn't he? We brought in Johan Remy. We were going to have Joric there. We've also got Woodfine out on loan there. Adair's out, but probably going to get sold. So now and again, wherever he is, Johan Remy comes in. And, I mean, all right, his arrows are going down at the moment, but he's been improving, definitely. He has been improving. And he's now, I think he wasn't natural at striker at the start of the season. Now he is. So let's see how that goes. It goes back to Edu Rubio, and I think we've completed the circle. Yeah, loads of players in the under-23s, some that haven't been loaned out, but I think we can probably manage this amount of players in the under-23s, to be honest. Probably. Marquez from the, I think from the year afterwards, Joric and Mitev came in 1 year, and then Marquez came in the year afterwards. Marquez is looking all right indeed. At 18, this is a silly wheel. The vision is almost rivaling Saidi already. So maybe we don't even need to buy anyone. I'd probably sell Saidi and just bring this guy in. Anyway, enough of that. Talking's done. A lot of talking in this video because there was a lot of changes. And with changes comes uncertainty in these games, and that's why we want to play it. If there wasn't that many changes, we probably would have just simulated this game and just talked about like the plans essentially for the next 6 odd months. But here we go. Man City against Titus Pétange. Can we still win away from home comfortably? Gonzalez. I think the home match was a 4-1 victory, something like that. Well, I'm not really that bothered about home games. We usually win the home games. We've been undefeated domestically in the league for about 7 years now, so we might have another decade where we go undefeated. And that would be something else, knowing that the Luxembourg league is as strong as what it is. But we will see. We will see. Oh, Man City 0, Titus Pétange 0. 20 minutes gone. I'm just looking for a strong defence. Martin Woodfine's actually playing up top for them here. Josemi's playing off the left and Quero right. So it is the front three of Man City all used to play for Titus Pétange. What a surprise. Our ex-players are just littered around the great clubs of Europe. Very even game so far. So, yes, there's definitely been a drop in quality overall through this team. Oh, and apparently Navarro has done something that's put us into a position to maybe take a penalty. Navarro penalty review. And this will be a penalty rewarded. Have no idea. Push Saran, apparently. And Moreira, to kind of back me up on him being an incredible penalty taker. Yeah, just sends the keeper the wrong way. Sticks it bottom left. No problem. That's his 18th goal of the season in total. And we've won a bit dirty here. Match stats say that we've been slightly better, but I mean, that for Titus Pétange is a bit of a drop-off because we've been dominating for so many years. It's just time to reload, essentially, and develop the next generation. Savo Saran could have been off the line, just over the line. There might be a bit of a goal line technology in hand. There it is. 30 minutes to go. Looks like there's going to be another key highlight here for Titus Pétange. I'm sorry about the background noise. I'm trying to talk over it as much as I possibly can. Moreira skips past the challenge. That Jambo kid on City's side is not very good, I don't think. Let's have a look at him. I've seen him score own goals. Yeah, he's not it. Mate, he's not it. They should be doing a bit better than that. At a club like this, keep it tight. There you go. Nice and easy save for Rubio down in his front post. Hey, look. Up the field. No nonsense. Love that. But it probably will be a City chance. Don't it dare be Woodfine scoring a goal. That would be something. Blondell. Another ex-Titus Pétange player. Pedro, I think, played for Titus. Josemi, great save by Rubio. Off the line. That was absolutely fantastic. Another use of goal line technology. I don't think I've ever seen two uses of goal line technology in the same game on this Football Manager. But what a save. What an introduction to the viewers of the new goalkeeper. Fair enough. We are going to be looking for like the next great goalkeeper. I don't think anyone's going to say, oh, you shouldn't have sold Ivandic. For that money, yeah, you definitely do. There's not that much of a drop to Rubio. Josemi. Oh, mate, that is dangerous sliding in. Just on the edge of your box. Savo Saran clears, but it'll be Manchester City pressure. And Wakali. How many Titus Pétange players have they got? Blondell? Try and drill it across, and there is Martin Woodfine. Fuck's sake. Oh, well, that's what happens when you loan your players out for enormous fees. They sometimes come back to bite you in the backside. Right hand. We could pop Malulu there and Zaza for Torre. And you got Savo Saran really tired, but Savo Saran. Apparently, Axel Claude is anxious for some reason. We could put Moreira and then Yohan Remy in this. Yohan Remy in this game is probably not a good call. 15 minutes. Can see that an easy win last season and all the sales that we've made makes this quite a difficult trip. Just needs time for the dynamics to settle down. Blondell's going for the free kick there. Is nicely parried away by Rubio. We've got to sort out the dynamics because there's been a lot of dynamic changes and just development on the young kids that I know will be able to make Titus Pétange as dominant in the future. Yohan Remy loses the ball. Long diagonal switch. Gonzalez nearly wins the play. Luis Pedro's been a nightmare off that side, it looks. It's hopeful. Moreira tried to lift it over Cafando. I tried to sign Cafando, but it was just so much money. It was like 150 million. There was a bit of a Premier League premium on that player. Definitely not worth it. Might as well put the money into new goalkeepers, 5-star recruits. See which one develops the nicest, essentially. It's going to be 1-1, so it's not the best of results there. Match stats slightly ahead of Manchester City, but, you know, these kind of stats, as good as they are, they do leave you a bit susceptible to the FM cheesing. I mean, we got cheesed by FM last year, and we was very, very good last year, so... Rice hopes Juric continues to develop. Yeah, I hope as well. That'd be great to see a striker from our own youth intake do really well. I've covered everything. There was a lot of things to cover. And we'll see you, hopefully, at a Champions League final. But there needs to be work just gelling this team together and developing the younger players that need to now step up, really. And then Neto as a right-back, I think... probably the way. Didn't Manchester City's goal came from the left-hand side, so it was Sabotic's man to pick up. I look, respect to Sabotic. He'll always have a place here until he's about 30, obviously. No one has a place after 30 unless your name's Paradiso. Respect to Sabotic for being so good, especially for a Luxembourg player, but he is the weak link. He is very much the weak link. Right, 30 minutes. There you go, some content for you. See you next time.